Aladdin was a movie that I was really not excited for. When I saw the trailers, I was just like, this looks like a really bland and boring movie. So when I was walking into Aladdin opening night, I did not have much high expectations. I was expecting it to be really, really bad. And here's the thing. This is a flawed movie. There's a lot of stuff I didn't like about it. But if I'm going to speak honestly, I actually enjoyed this movie. I have a lot of problems with it, but overall, I'd say it's a pretty entertaining movie. It's, a good little remake of the original, even though the original's obviously better. Honestly, there's some really good stuff about this movie. Will Smith is probably the best part of this movie. He's great as the genie. He just has this constant energy, and he always just makes the movie better. Every time he's on screen, he adds this energy to the movie. It's like it gets extra, it gets really entertaining every time he's on screen. And he does his stuff really well. Most of the time, he made the genie his own. He doesn't. Most of the time, he doesn't try to copy Robin Williams. There are a few times where he tries to copy Robin Williams, especially when he's in this blue form. He does. He a few times tries to copy Robin Williams, but that's mostly the script. Most of the time, he did his own thing. He was his own genie, not just the Robin Williams, except played by a new actor. They knew we couldn't recapture him, so they just did something new with it. I think that's a good way to go with the genie. And probably most surprising part of this movie is I actually liked Aladdin and Jasmine in this movie. Like in the trailers, they were all really, really boring. And in this movie, they were good. They were okay. They played Aladdin and Jasmine okay. Granted, they played him like an eighth grade play, but like it's actually pretty good. Like I was considering my expectations. They did okay. They did what they were needed to do. They imitated the actors pretty well. I just wish, I don't know. I just wish they added their own flair to it. I wish Aladdin and Jasmine could have done something more with their roles, past just Aladdin and like something new with it. Like make the character their own, like just like Will Smith did with the genie. I wish they would have done that, but overall they did okay. Actually, I'm surprised that one of my favorite characters in the movie was a character who wasn't in the original. It was Jasmine has a friend in this movie, or a maid, or a something, and she was actually a really entertaining part of the movie. I didn't like she wasn't even in the original, and she's actually probably the best thing they added to this movie because this movie, one of its biggest problems, which I'll get to later, was that it adds a lot of stuff that wasn't needed. But this element actually added a lot to the movie. She isn't showed much in the trailers, so it's actually quite a surprise that she's so charming. And there are some surprisingly funny scenes whenever Aladdin's trying to impress Princess Jasmine. I love awkward scenes with a person trying to impress another with a person trying to impress a girl. Those scenes are always some of the things that make me laugh the most. It was great in How to Train Your Dragon 3. It was one of the best parts of that movie. And this movie has some really hilarious stuff. And there are some great action scenes too. The action isn't too bad in this movie either. But like I said, there are a lot of problems with this movie. Main One of the worst things is Jafar in this movie. He's really, really whiny. He in the original he was creepy and he was threatening. I actually, whenever Jafar is on screen, you are threatened by him. He does look scary. If he came up to you in real life, you'd be scared of him. If this Jafar came up to me in real life, I just laugh at him because he's so pathetic, and every time he's like a little whiny little kid. Like, I don't want to listen to you, Sultan. Oh my god, it's don't want to listen. He's so pathetic, and honestly, it always made me laugh that I'm supposed to be scared of this person. He's so whiny, and I think probably my least favorite thing about this movie that really took me out of the movie a lot is the look of the movie. Now there are a lot of different things with the look because when you go to the original, it looks beautiful. The original, in animation wise, it's pretty much a masterpiece. There's so much energy added to every second, every time the characters just do everything very well. The animation really added everything, and that was one of my biggest problems with this movie. It was not without the animation. It looks either sometimes it looks boring because the still shots and no camera movement. Even whenever someone's singing and doing a scene that should have a lot of movement and energy, they're just kind of standing. It's the Prince Ali sequence. Yeah, Will Smith sings it nice, but the whole thing is just kind of Will Smith dancing around going, Prince Ali, fabulous. He's just kind of dancing around and singing the song. When the original, he freaking Genie is making Aladdin super strong, and he's doing all the kind of stuff, turning into different characters. In this movie, he's just kind of singing it. It's really boring. And one of the worst parts about trying to put it live action is you have to recreate all those characters with CGI. And whenever you do that, it just looks ugly. In animation, the Genie and Magic Carpet and Abu, all this stuff, like the sequences with a bunch of stuff like that, they're good in animation, but when you try to translate it to live action, they look ugly. They legitimately look ugly. And that really took me out of the movie a lot. The look of the movie is not very well done. Also, this is a really minor complaint. I don't know if anyone else noticed this because no one else seems to be bothered by it. But they use slow motion a lot in this movie. Like there's one shot where Aladdin, remember, he gets thrown off to the ocean. They do that in slow motion for some reason. They just stop, like he's falling, and then we stop in slow motion, and then he goes back again. This is not the Matrix. There's no point to the slow motion. It just feels like, oh, we're putting a slow motion in. There's a slow motion shot of a monkey catching a lamp. Like you didn't need slow motion for these stuff. So overall, the look of the movie and mainly Jafar, he's really does take you out of the movie, and he's one of the worst elements. But overall, I will admit, Aladdin was entertaining. It was funny. It had some nice action scenes. It was overall a pretty good movie. In terms of what I'd score this film, I don't have a specific one. I'd probably go B or B minus. I haven't decided yet which one, but just B or B minus. I'm gonna stick with that right now. So, what did you think of this movie? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What are your thoughts on the original? And in terms of what's coming now, I don't know what's coming now. I don't have a schedule anymore. I'm trying to balance a lot of stuff, so I don't know what's coming. But I'll see when I'll be able to post reviews for anything. But that said, goodbye.